Yo, what's going on? Mike from Mike Talk Sports. So coming off of this disappointing loss for the Eagles in the Super Bowl, specifically a very disappointing defensive performance, you had statistically one of the best defensive lines of all time in terms of pressuring the quarterback. And not only did you struggle to pressure Patrick Mahomes, but you didn't even get a sack on Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, putting a significant amount of stress on that secondary and that linebacking core. Going forward for the Eagles, I think a main defensive spot that you need to fill is a run-stopping middle linebacker, or just linebackers in general that can really bolster that run defense. I think going into this game, Andy Reid said the main weakness of this Eagles defense is that run-stopping ability, so that's what he really attacked with Isaiah Pacheco having a great game. But let's get into CJ Gardner Johnson, who I think out of any Eagles defender really stood out to me in the Super Bowl. He had a couple really hard hits. He looked really good in coverage in this game, and just his run-stopping ability. He seemed as though he was the only Eagles player with a rocket up his butt, running all around the field and just doing great in this game. He's a 2023 unrestricted free agent. The Eagles traded for him from the Saints at the beginning of this regular season, and he played phenomenal for the Eagles in this game. Now, he had trouble staying healthy throughout the season. He only played 12 games, but in 12 games, he had statistical highs across the board for his career. Not only did he have a career high in tackles throughout 12 games, but he had a career high and a season high in interceptions. He had 6 interceptions in 12 games, which tied the record for this season. So CJ Gardner Johnson, he is so versatile as a safety. He not only could play free safety, which he's very familiar with, he's very rangy in that back end. He could play a one safety high and really cover the entire length of the field. He's very good at run stopping, so I really wouldn't mind him playing strong safety. Nowadays in the NFL, we've really gone away from those two high safety looks with the free safety and the strong safety. Strong safeties nowadays are starting to kind of become extinct. You need to be elite in coverage if you want to be on the field every single play, and you need to be pretty good at run stopping as well. So CJ Gardner Johnson fits that new mold of safety, who is a strong safety and is a free safety, is a hard hitter, and he's really rangy and good in coverage. He's a good man coverage guy as well. That's another thing. So not only could he play two safety positions, he's a great slot corner. Throughout his time in New Orleans, he was a great slot corner. That's what they primarily used him as. He's great in man coverage. He's really good in those zone coverage. He's great in those shallow flats, running those cover 3 defenses. Again, he's really good in those cover 2 defenses where you have the high safety. He's even good in quarters where you have those cover 4 quarters coverage where you have one player get 1/4 of the field going all the way up. So CJ Gardner Johnson, so versatile. To me in the NFL nowadays as well, I'll be completely honest, looking at year in and year out the past couple of years who have been selected to all pro teams at the safety position, seeing year in and year out who's in the Pro Bowl for the safety. To me, safety is one of the weaker positions in the NFL right now. Seems as though there's not that much significant talent being taken in the NFL draft at these safety positions. It's such a hard learning curve for these guys. So it's rare for a guy like CJ Gardner Johnson to come in right away in New Orleans and have a pretty significant impact. So CJ Gardner Johnson, again, he's a 2023 unrestricted free agent. I think he's going to garner a lot of money in free agency. And I think, to me, the Eagles desperately need to sign him. Not only is he their best run-stopping guy in their secondary, I don't even think they have a linebacker or a player in general on their roster who is as good at open field tackling as CJ Gardner Johnson is. So that's going to be huge. That's going to be a big key for the Eagles going into the offseason. You got to shake off those cobwebs. You got to just say, forget about the Super Bowl. Let's go into next season. We have a great offense. This defense played really good all year. I know we struggled in the playoffs in terms of the Super Bowl, but come on. This was still a great defense. You have Hassan Reddick. I think they're probably going to give him a pretty big extension pretty soon. So CJ Gardner Johnson, I would definitely plan on re-signing him.